Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about Chainsaw Man, which was a recommendation by Miku. Thank you for the recommendation, Miku. But before all that, we were talking about, honestly, my mind getting blown by the fact that there's a climate-controlled bed. You know, honestly, I mean, like, we spent a good long time talking about that, along with other various random things. If you want to catch a part of that wider conversation, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/featured anime podcast, $1 a month to get you access to that bonus content. Or if you want, you can join us live every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/featured anime podcast. If you want to help join us for those live discussions, trust me, sometimes they get crazy, they get fun, and we do have a blast. So look forward to seeing you there. Before we dive into this week's choice, I want to talk about Tokyo Treat. Now, as you know, we love our snacks here at Featured Anime Podcast. And you know what? I'll tell you this right now. If it was not for Tokyo Treat, I would not be enjoying some of the most delicious snacks ever. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jack, what is Tokyo Treat? Well, you know what? Tokyo Treat is a monthly pop Japanese snack box subscription service where you will get up to 20 limited edition and seasonally flavored Japanese snacks, including Japanese instant ramen and drinks that are only available in Japan for a limited time. Now, every box, every single month has a theme. And that's honestly one of the really cool things about Tokyo Treat is that they have a theme every single month. And you don't have to worry about someone randomly going into the store and just throwing things into a box and shipping it out to you, because I wouldn't like that. And I know you wouldn't like that. Neither one of us is going to like that, but they don't do that. No, they have a team that goes out there and curates these snacks special just for you. And that is something that I find really, really cool. Now, this month, they are inviting you to Tokyo Snackation. Now, what that is it means Tokyo Treat is inviting you to take a journey through Japan's exciting and colorful capital city, Tokyo, which is also Tokyo Treat's hometown. This month, the Tokyo Treat box is packed full of delicious, sweet, and savory snacks inspired by this famous city. So get ready to explore this month's massive metropolis and experience Tokyo through this month's box. Now, just a couple of snacks to kind of tantalize those taste buds you got there. You have the Kit Kat Royal Milk Teas this month, and then you have some Pokemon chocolate marshmallows. The melon cream soda was absolutely delicious. The Castella donut I really, really loved. And then you also have the peach tarts that were in there. I'm telling you, I could not get enough of those. They were all so delicious. I'm telling you right now, some of the snacks in there I couldn't get enough of. In fact, if I had an entire truckload full of them, it still would not be enough. That's how good some of those treats are in there. Now, special for our listeners, if you click on our affiliate link in the show notes and then you use coupon code Featured Anime, you'll get $5 off that first box. And trust me, when you use that coupon code and you get those nice, delicious, tasty treats, you will feel very satisfied and you will love every second of those treats. So don't forget to use coupon code Featured Anime when you sign up through our affiliate link, and you'll save yourself $5 off that very first box. And trust me, it is worth it. Or you can go to shop.featuredanimepodcast.com and get yourself some swanky swag. And we have some new designs coming out, and some of those older designs are going to get retired. So go ahead, go in there, buy those older designs before they get yanked from the store. And they are gone, at least for now. And now on to the me and Brotatoes. Chainsaw Man came out in October 2022 and ran all the way through December 2022, and it's 12 episodes long. Producers for it is Dugout, studio for it is MAPPA. It's based off of a manga. It's an action fantasy shounen, just to kind of round it all out. This is definitely I want to say kind of a very gory anime. Now it focuses on Denji, a youthful teenager who was basically robbed of his life by the Yakuza, who kept him in perpetual debt to them by making him a gopher and only paying off small amounts of his debt. And it starts off with him basically being very, I want to say, down and out on his luck, but he's still kind of happy with his life. He sold his eye. He talks about selling off body parts to help try and pay off his debt. And when he looks at the amount of debt that he has a copious amount of money. Well, as his luck would have it, he eventually ends up dying. However, the chainsaw Poncho that is with him is actually a devil, or Pochita is a devil, and takes him up on the offer of taking his heart when he dies. And in exchange for giving him the power, he wants Denji to show him his version of paradise, what it means to him. This story is basically him kind of going through life, reaching towards those particular paradises while also fighting off devils that are keeping him from his version of paradise, from the goals he wants, whether that's trying to get a little something from the person saving a magazine from something else, or getting nice, delicious food. This is, in essence, a story about Denji striving for his dreams.
I mean, Denji is one of the few characters that I would agree that is relatable, because he's very childlike, very simplistic, in a very odd way, very Goku-esque, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever. In the sense that he is utterly incapable of being sad, for lack of a better way to put it. He's always happy. He's always trying to do his best to attain certain goals, whether they're good or bad. And he never really succeeds in the way that you'd think he would, which is unfortunate, to say the very least, but predictable considering the kind of genre that this is. So, I mean, it's sad.
that is sad, but it's, it's also true, like 100%. With the life that Denji actually had to lead going through life and everything like that, and him being kind of forced into that particular position is one that's kind of hard to understand and truly kind of gauge in that sense,
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure his dad died somehow. Well, no, we actually see how it's he self-deleted, if you will, and in doing so, he has decided that, unfortunately, life's really not worth living. And in that aspect, he's decided as well that the way that he can get back, the way that everyone can do everything they need, is pay your debts back. And it sucks, because the only way he can truly pay these debts back is selling himself, for lack of a better way to put it. And he sells himself in this manner with things, with items, with pieces of himself, a kidney, a testicle. What were some of the other things that he sold?
Well, it's not that the other things that he sold. He was talking about selling a kidney. He sold an eye, sold a testicle, talked about selling a kidney, and in general, maybe some other body parts at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So, but it's because he is just, honestly, he is that kind of desperate. He is that hard up on cash, simply because when you look at the debt that he has,
it's staggering.
It is astronomical. It is, oh my God, why? And it doesn't even look like it goes down. It looks like it goes up. Like he gets paid, he gets basically told he has to do all this other stuff, and then he's barely given enough for basically a slice of bread a day for a month.
Yeah, and it's
crazy.
It's kind of humorous. It's a little bit more than humorous to me.
It is. So, it is. It's sad, is what it is. It's sad. It's one of those shows where you really kind of just go, man, he is just like going to be hard up on his luck no matter what. Now, you're introduced to several other characters. You have like Power, Makima as well. Then you have Aki, and then you have a few other kind of supporting characters. Now, a lot of these characters, they're introduced and you're kind of following them through everything that goes along the way. And you can't help but go, I feel like all these characters are going to die.
Yeah.
Simply because of how they kind of portray everything, how they move about, how they're kind of sold in regards to like their interactions with everyone, the fact that they're humans and they show kind of compassion, show some kind of semblance of heart or anything else. You're given the idea, you're given the viewpoint of like, oh, these people are going to be there for you, or these people are totally going to die simply because they care. And they make that point a few different times throughout the series, throughout the show. The one thing that devils are afraid of are the hunters that have a screw loose. And it's not because they're crazy strong. It's because they have no fear and they're not afraid of what's going to happen. Like and what's more is they even kind of lean into this too. So that way you can get a better understanding of it. It's some of them, they don't see, or they can't attack, or they can't whatever without fear. Like fear is the determinant factor. So your fear gives them strength. Your fear enables them to be able to see you or attack you. Your fear gives them the substance to continue on. And if you have a screw loose and you genuinely don't care and you're like, hey, bro, this is kind of how it is, and you just go, all out, that is the one thing that scares them, because one, they're gonna not be able to fight against you. They're gonna lose that power. They're gonna lose that edge, and it's gonna end up killing them ultimately. And this is a very key factor, a very pivotal point throughout certain episodes of it too. Like one of the episodes where they're trapped in basically the Infinite Hotel. It's like the reason why he kept getting so strong and kept getting stronger is because of the fear, the paranoia, the sheer terror that they were having. The irrationalism of that fear kept causing it to grow, causing it to get stronger.
Yes, and sometimes, yes. Like there's a devil for everything in this show.
Oh yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, and they even talk about how the strength of the devil is directly linked to the fear of that item, right? And I love the example they give. They go, say a coffee devil appears. It's not going to be that strong. It's not going to be that fearful because no one's afraid of coffee. However, one of the main big baddies, one of the ones they talk about that you don't actually hear about, that you're not talked to about, is the gun devil. And he is so strong because of the overwhelming fear revolving and surrounding guns, plays a very big factor of it. And it's said that like when he came into existence, he killed like 1.2 million people.
Yeah. Again, when he came into existence, not that it wasn't his goal. It was just his birth.
Yeah.
And one of the features that you find is that he moves, or I assume it's a he, because that's kind of how they describe him. The gun devil moves so quickly that bits and pieces of his body fall off, deteriorate, or left to the wayside. And what's kind of interesting is, in my mind, very similar to the Gentle Giant, where all the bits and pieces kind of find their way back to the original. These bits and pieces of the original gun devil gravitate towards the original. And one of the ways that the what do you want to even call the company? The suits, the special forces?
The special division of the public sector?
Yeah. So
public safety.
Public safety, thank you. What public safety's goal is to get a big enough chunk of the gun devil to kind of use it as a compass to guide their way to the main body. Now, the thing that I thought was rather interesting is it's implied via example as well as they hinted at this being a thing where a lesser devil can consume a part of a greater devil and gain a portion of their power, however insignificant or however superior. And it'll boost their ability, such as with the infinite devil. The infinite devil, people are afraid of, infinity and whatnot, but he ended up getting just a bullet from the gun devil. He ended up getting a bullet from the gun devil and got an immense boost of power and was able to essentially create their own dimension for however long it took to finish at least 3 or 4 solid days of uninterrupted, no one in, no one out, blipped out of reality kind of stuff.
Right. And it's because that's where he lived, or that particular one.
I think they undervalued the power that would be. He created his own pocket dimension because he had a piece of the gun god or the gun devil. Well,
it's not that they undervalued it. It led to a very larger viewpoint, a larger discussion in the fact that he wanted to get Denji specifically. And for whatever reason, the gun devil is very hyper focused on Denji and wants Denji, or rather his heart. Chainsaw's harp.
I've got a question with that.
Okay.
So I watched it subbed and I watched it dubbed. Now I watched it subbed originally because that's all there was.
Okay.
In the dubbed version, the snake girl was after the heart, not the gun devil. Did you catch that or no?
The gun devil. So the snake girl said, I want his heart. But the reason why she wants his heart is because of the contract that she had with the gun devil to bring him to her or bring Denji to the gun devil.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Like literally she had said several times, I want the heart. Bring me his heart. We need his heart, or I want his heart. But it was because she wanted to give it to the gun devil. She had a contract with the gun devil. And when she failed to uphold her end of the contract, she was
released from duty, let's say.
Yes. Right. So and it was said that in the subs as well, right? She kept pointing out or kept saying that she wanted this heart. And it was ultimately because that's what the gun devil wanted, because it wasn't her that said she wanted it. It's everyone else that wants him. Everyone wants his heart. And you find out that it's the gun devil wants his heart.
Okay. I just don't. Why the heart though?
Because that's where Pochita is. Pochita is Denji's heart. He wants the chainsaw devil.
Oh, okay.
And if you remember, Makima even tells Denji, like, you are the one that can I feel like you are the one that can kill the gun devil. And for whatever reason, the gun devil is afraid of Denji. It's not afraid of anyone else. It's not scared of anyone else that we know. He is making very strong moves to get Denji, and more specifically, Pochita, Denji's heart, aka the Chainsaw Devil.
That makes total sense. That makes sense. I figured out an interesting thought. If you'll indulge me for a minute, Pochita didn't really have all that much power outside of being the heart. Like, he was a devil that needed to be used essentially like a chainsaw. Do you think?
No.
Well, so when we first meet Pochita, it's very weak. It's dying almost.
Yeah, because it was shot, right?
By the gun devil?
I can only assume.
You'd figure the gun devil firing at something wouldn't miss,
It didn't miss. It was shot twice, but it didn't die.
But that's what I mean. Like, he would finish the job, kind of, sort of, probably.
Maybe it reverted into that more cute form to hide. Went and saw Denji, figured it would be like, oh, I can easily take him. But Denji ends up like creating that pseudo contract. I'll let you drink my blood and heal as long as you be my friend and help me live. And so thus creates that contract, right?
Mm.
Because, well, we'll save that part for towards the end for why I believe this.
Okay.
Towards the end. Okay. All right.
That's fair.
But basically that's my hunch. That's my feeling.
Okay. That's understandable. And I respect that. What did you think about Denji's desires?
His desires are that of a 16-year-old, so
Wait,
kind of on point
in the show.
With, huh?
Is he really 16 in the show?
Yes.
Oh, geez. I thought he was older.
No, he even said he was 16.
I missed that part then.
Yeah, it's when they were drinking. And they were all drinking, and they're like, "Oh, you should have something to drink." And he's like, "Oh, I'm 16." And they're like, "Oh, you haven't drink anything yet, right?" He's like, "No, I'm having tea." So
responsible. He's obviously not a chicken, but yeah, responsible.
Right, to a degree. But yeah, so yeah, he is the 16 years old. I mean, like, so yeah, I mean, like, it's very that reminiscent of, yeah, he is a kid. He's a teenager. He's gonna have very particular moments and viewpoints.
He's gonna have temptations. Let's call it
right.
Well, so
but
I bring that up.
He also never completed school, so he has a very hard time reading and can only read a couple of things. So they even pointed that out because he basically grew up on the street, grew up homeless, barely making any money for the Yakuza, at their will, being allowed to live. Just so that way he could be their private devil hunter, because devil hunt, right? It's cheaper for him, and devil hunters is either the public safety, a government job, or a private sector job. So you can be a private person and be a devil hunter. You just assume certain responsibilities and risks with it, right? So
that definitely makes some sense. But the reason why I ask is he has a very he has a moment of revelation and shock, horror, and absolute, in my mind, human. It's not desperation, but hopelessness, because he was able to achieve one goal, one lifelong goal that he was looking for, you know, and it was one of those things where he felt so unsatisfied with obtaining his goal of, in this particular case, copping a feel. He risked his life. He did many things. He traversed countless hurdles, all to cop a feel. And in that case, he was given 3. In this particular case, he was given 3 opportunities to cop a feel, which he took full advantage of. And for the next little bit, he was just like, well, crap. This is so underwhelming. This is so less than what I was hoping for. And then he goes on to think that he goes on to say that he really is afraid that going after all of his other goals will feel just as empty. He's afraid that he won't have, like, the chase is what he's going to be after. He's always going to be chasing.
Right.
And it reminded me a lot of the Joker from Batman. I think Batman Begins. He's like a car, or he's like a dog chasing a car. He won't know what to do when he catches it. He just loves the chase, loves the thrill, it humanized me to the character. It humanized the character of Denji to me, made him more realistic in a very unrealistic anime, you know? And it's those little nuances throughout the whole show, that the minor bouts of what I call sanity in otherwise insane animation that drew me in from, I want to say that was like episode 3 or 4, maybe 4, maybe 5. And just little bits and pieces like that, I can really truly appreciate that there was some thought behind it. It wasn't just a regular shoot 'em up, beat 'em up, you know, I've got a chainsaw, let me tear everything apart.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot more thought in it, behind it, for a majority of the people. However, when it comes to Denji, that is kind of is like, I'm just going to mess things up type of ideology, you know. But then again, it goes with his mentality of, you know, being a 16-year-old too. But there is definitely a lot more foresight, definitely a lot more thought in there, you know.
I mean, I liked it. It was like I said, it was one of the few parts of the show that I thought was really well thought out, really well placed. It wasn't shoehorned and mashed in there like someone wasn't really paying attention. Like, oh, this needs to be here somewhere, so let's like mush it in here to make sure it fits. It truly felt like he was going through a crisis, and it circled back to our main character, not our main character, but our main girl, with the super hypnotic eyes and a very peculiar and interesting either ability, history. I don't quite get what's going on with her, but she's super, super mysterious, you know? So I thought, nice way to refocus, nice way to give him more of a goal, more of an attainable goal. And it's kind of interesting how she essentially seduces him, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
he gives her, or she gives him the it's not the chase, because we all know he's chasing her.
Oh, yeah.
She gives him the goal and the desire to see what's so good, what's so great, specifically about her, and why he wants her so bad.
I mean, to kind of clarify, it's not that she says explicitly what he'll get. She says any wish you want will be granted.
Oh yeah, and everyone went to one thought.
Right, and he went to that one thought, and she immediately reaffirms any wish you want will be granted. Right, so it could be anything at all. Like, we don't know what it is. I mean, like, we all know he's operating off of a base instinct, right? So there's no need
at this point.
Right. So there's no need for us to kind of go down a deeper, more in-depth discussion on it. I mean, like, he's a 16-year-old. We already know exactly what he wants. He already alluded to it several times. And he's like, oh, well, totally. I would love this. I was like, we already know. I mean, like, he straight up killed a fiend, and he's like, oh, I didn't want to get blood on the magazines.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else, really. And it shows his mentality, his mental state on it. I mean, like, he holds no regard for other people's lives. And they even further affirm that when he's going through the training, when he's about to be trained by the guy, the guy like asks him, is like, who do you like? Whose side are you on? He's like, I'm on whatever side gives me food in the home. I don't really care about anything else. And Power, the other girl, the other main character, is like, I'm on whatever side's winning. And it's like, full marks. You guys are off the rockers. Let's do this.
We've got time, and I've got the patience. We will turn you into anything and everything that will be scary towards any kind of devil.
Exactly.
Worth it. Worth it.
Worth it. But anyways, all right. Now we're gonna get a little bit into spoiler territory, right? Because I had said I have a, you know, like, he is more like a kind of like a tamed down version of the devil he was when he was injured by the gun devil, right? And I'm specifically talking about Pochita. And the reason why I say that, reason why I'm saying, like, he kept that form, maintained that form specifically for Denji, and he is not allowing his full power to come forward because of the ending. Okay,
explain.
So remember, you saw the ending where Denji's basically having a dream?
Yeah.
And he talks about how he's always having this reoccurring dream lately.
Yep.
And he's going to a door and he's wanting to open up the door. And Pochita says, do not open that door.
You can never open the door. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right.
I wanted him to open the door.
Right. So I feel like if he opens that door, full force of Pochita's power, the Chainsaw Devil's power, will come out with a reckoning. Like, he will be total next level, awesome, mega, whatever. And that is what the gun devil's afraid of.
So a gun devil would be afraid of a chainsaw devil.
Well, again, so going back, it goes to the level of fear, right? A lot of people are afraid of guns, right? And everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But fear doesn't have to only manifest itself in a realistic aspect, right? Like, you have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then you have people that have literally gone through and murdered people over that, and they're called horror movies as well. So
fair enough. Okay, you got it.
So you're building on that fear, you're building on it, and also, like, chainsaws or a inherent fear of something that is chainsaw, not only from a personal aspect because it's like heavily restricted or whatnot, but because chainsaws can also be gotten in areas where you can't easily get guns. And chainsaws are widely available, easily available, simply because it's like, well, why do you need a chainsaw? I need a chainsaw because, for my work, for trees, for this, for that.
For protection.
For what, pick your flavor as to whatever it is, right? So it builds on fear, right? And it goes back to what I was saying. Like people have, what they said earlier too, like coffee devil appears, no one's going to be scared of the coffee devil. He's going to get weak. He's going to be weak. He's going to be easily slaughtered. No one's going to pay him any mind because no one's afraid of coffee. However, you have the eternity devil, right? Where he's stuck on a floor or whatever it is. And you could take your viewpoint on like the symbolism for the 8th floor and the eternity and everything like that. But however, it's like being stuck in a room and playing on that fear is a fear for people. Like being stuck on this X floor, being stuck here is a fear for people. So, a lot of them play into that, right? A lot of people, so like the future devil, right? A lot of people are afraid of the future. They're scared of the future. They can't handle change that well. So the future scares them because of that. So his power will be dictated on that, and you'll like have all these other devils that are out there, right? They even talked about it like a car devil. A lot of people are afraid of cars.
True. Very true.
So,
no, I mean, it makes sense. Like it depends on the fear level. I wonder, do you think the devil can increase their fear, let's call it, by making more mayhem with said item?
Yes, 100%. And you, because your fear of that item or whatever it is amplifies that fear. It grows in that fear for you. And so, for example, right, when the people were shot and whatnot, a lot of people were like, oh, they have guns, and they built this, they were building it up, and it's like, oh, I'm really, oh my God, they have guns. How do they get guns and everything like that? And they're building up this fear, and they have all this fear. And when you build up all that fear and people become more and more fearful of that, they are going to get stronger because of it. So definitely whatever it is, they can use it to their advantage to gain in power, right? So take, again, the eternity devil. It's like, you will be stuck here forever unless you do this one thing. Then I'll let you go. You'll be free. And all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to be stuck here forever. I don't want to be stuck here forever. That's the most terrifying thing for me. What if I'll never get out of here? We got to get out of here. Right. And that's when he really started blossoming in terms of strength. It's because all of a sudden that fear of being stuck in that spot forever would be.
I get what you're saying. He was able to amplify their fear, thus giving him more power in that particular domain. Because now a certain potentially, so the way you make it sound is in his own domain, in that stuck area, a certain percentage of people were fearful of being stuck forever, which gave him immense power.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know. I mean, like, and again, going back to like a soda pop devil, like how would you be able to amplify the fear of a soda pop devil?
I mean,
that soda's so nasty. Ah! I'll make you drink nasty soda for the rest of your life.
No. You'll have the soda devil there being like, call me Pop.
Yeah. I mean, like there's a lot of areas where they do call him Pop.
I know. That's why I said it.
Soda Pop. Soda Pop.
But, I was just like, if they were able to isolate specific people, they could be basically gods in their area if they can get them all to fear. And they live off of fear. And they
right.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. Like
It is.
There's so many different possibilities in this anime for amazing fights, amazing power-ups, let's call it. And it leads credence to the fact that you do need to screw loose to be a good fighter, because if you're afraid of the thing you're fighting, you're just giving it more strength, i.e. the Ghost Devil. Ghost Devil cannot see. It bases itself off of fear, and it can't feel, it can't do anything. So if you don't fear it, and you're able to manipulate yourself to not fear anything about it, you're essentially numb to it. Like it can't feel where you are. It can't see you, for lack of a better way to put it. And you are essentially a blank space to it.
Yeah. Well, and again, that went back to the kind of the beginning when we were talking, where I said they gave examples and told people about like fear being like how some of them see, how some of them perceive, how they hunt, how they're able to move about. Like fear is a very big part. Like fear is a very big part of the devils, right? And that's kind of where like the name kind of comes from too, right? They're a devil. They're evil, and you're fearful of them.
Makes sense.
Right. I mean,
it makes perfect sense.
We could go on. We can continue to talk more about this, but I feel like this is a good spot to kind of leave off. How about you, sir?
I mean, yes, there's plenty more to talk about. Obviously, there's plenty more to watch, which I highly recommend doing so.
Indeed.
I'm told season 2 is coming out eventually.
Someday, somewhere in the future.
With time traveling granddaughters.
No.
Time travel is a scary demon.
No. All right. So on a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
Well, it's one of the few anime that I've ever come across where the dub also curses and cusses. So by that, I got to give it a higher score. I'm going to give it an 8. I really liked it. I think it had some room to grow. I think it did a fantastic job of getting its message across. Getting us involved in the discussion, obviously, here, and making us look at all the possibilities that could happen here. So I liked it. I will watch it again, gladly, and I would recommend it to many, many other people.
Indeed. So your score was?
An 8.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a hiccup that I heard.
Sorry. Yeah, I got massive hiccups right now.
All right.
And it sucks. I can't get rid of them.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, maybe the hiccup devil will come and scare the bejeebers out of you.
Install its own problem.
Right? All right. On a scale, I would give this a 9. I enjoyed it immensely. It was a really great show. The animation was really good. I liked that the ending credits were all unique and relevant to the episode. That is something that I thought was really cool. It was really well done. I enjoyed it. I would definitely watch this again. I am definitely looking forward to season 2. I know that there is a movie out about it. It's called Chainsaw Man, the movie, the Riz arc, or not out, but it is coming. So, it is something that I am kind of looking forward to check out and watch, because I definitely have a lot more questions on them, and I would like to know more about her, because definitely interesting.
Cool.
So next week's choice.
Yes.
We are watching, I think you said you wanted to watch
Yep,
Keijo, booty fights, something like that or whatever, right?
Yep. Lots of oh geez, sorry. Lots of material to go off of.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not that much fabric.
I see what you did there.
I'm glad.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thanks for joining us and hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed this week's choice. If you feel like we got something right, something wrong, did it too much justice, not enough justice, or anything like that, feel free to let us know and reach out to us. You can go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast to hear the pre-show content that we usually will put out with every episode. And sometimes we just have a real blast with those episodes, I'm telling you right now, along with some discussions about some Patreon exclusive episodes. So if you feel like going to patreon.com/featured anime podcast and supporting us, please feel free to do so. If you want to buy yourself some swanky swag and get yourself some nice cool merch, you can go to shop.featuredanimepodcast.com. Or if you want to help give a recommendation and let us know exactly what we're going to be doing, so that we will know what we're watching, you can get all that information, contact information, and everything like that on our website at featuredanimepodcast.com. And of course, if you want some delicious treats, you can go to Tokyo Treats with our affiliate link and use coupon code FeaturedAnime to get $5 off that very first box. And trust me, those treats are worth it, and it'd be very much appreciated. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.